I have been having such a rough week lately. And I don't know if it's the turning of the season or what, but I am sure I am not alone when I say that I am absolutely mentally exhausted, maybe a little antsy physically. So I wanted to just stop what I'm doing after work and provide you with a personal one on one yoga session with me up in the studio because I feel like this is a time where we all need to kind of come together and experience this life and be really transparent about how we're all feeling. And if I can make your day a little better just by showing you how I come back into my center when I'm not feeling really well, then I have done a really good service to everybody. So for today, I have a strap, 2 blocks, and my blanket. And I am not going to get crazy. I might get crazy. I actually don't know where I am going to head with all of this other than I want to start to ground back into my body and start to feel a little bit better. So one of the ways that I like to do that is just crash out on my mat and kind of move in a way that makes sense for me and my body at this point in time. I'm going to go ahead and take off my socks. Even though it's a little cooler out, the grounding sensation of having bare feet really helps to center me. So I'm going to start in just a really gentle seated position. And if this is you today and you are like, oh my gosh, what did I just get hit with emotionally, physically, mentally, then you are in the right place and we will just approach this together. So I am just seated really comfy, nice tall spine. I'm going to just start to pull my attention inward and just kind of notice where I am in this moment. I have some gentle beats playing in the background that are just helping to ground me into this present moment. And then from here, I'm just starting to notice my breath. Whenever we take those big sighs, it helps to relieve some stress. I can't always turn off the outside world. There might be notifications and messages, or maybe even a knock at the door, but taking this little bit of time to just recenter can really make all the difference. I'm just going to start to roll my shoulders. The only intention that I'm setting for myself today in this practice is to just come back into my body and maybe release a bit of that tension that is clinging to me. And then I'm going to go ahead and switch directions here. If you want to follow along, you can. Options to do whatever feels right in your body. Beautiful. I'm going to just go ahead and interlace my fingers up to the webbing and then place them behind my head. And kind of let my skull fall back into my hands, feeling the bit of support here. Taking a big inhale. And then exhale, bringing that chin to my chest. We are in it together. I hope you feel really supported here. Anytime that I'm sharing anything that I'm doing in my studio or in my practice, just know that it is hopefully for the benefit of everybody who is coming to partake. I'm just rolling out my wrists now if you wanted to pause there. Or you can keep moving however feels right for you. Because we're coming back into the body and I can already start to feel the shift happening. And you start to feel a little bit like, okay, maybe balance is possible. And it might take more than a little bit of movement to get there. I'm just going to stretch out one arm and the other. Everything for me got canceled today. I was supposed to have a horseback riding lesson and the weather was too bad. I was supposed to go to yoga as my other thing I was supposed to do, and that got canceled. So it was just one of those days where just nothing really wanted to fall into place, so I had to make my own place to fall into. Oh, and my other favorite thing to do is go for a long walk with my dog, but the weather is just not cooperating. I'm going to go ahead and remove those blocks. And I'm just going to take a nice big inhale and then exhale, start rolling through here, falling, coming forward, and then kind of rolling back. And I'm kind of using my breath at this point to really inhale and then exhale anything that's not really serving me at this point. I feel like that inhale is like sustenance, it's nourishing, and I'm going to reverse directions here. Exhale and inhaling backwards. Just using the breath as a filter, kind of clearing out the system. And I hope that in you joining me today for this practice, you feel a bit more grounded and a bit more centered, but also maybe not so alone in those feelings of just, ugh, what is going on? Good. Let's go ahead and start to move it forward. Maybe hinging. The dogs are trying to get into the studio, and that's okay. They can try. And I'm just going to sway here. This swaying just feels so nice and grounding. And maybe I come all the way over and I take a big inhale and come all the way up like a big rainbow. And then the other way. Kind of reversing directions here. You know, it's difficult to not try to please everybody all the time. I'm just doing these little like baby twists while I'm seated upright, keeping it just moving. Especially when you feel stuck, you know, and then you're like getting all this requests for things. I'm sure that's landing for a few of you who are watching. And it almost feels like all of the energy is just like tapped out. And that's what these sways are really, really good for. I'm just getting a little bit crazy with it here. Maybe going all the way over and tapping the floor behind me. Kind of feels nice in the hips. This is not a yoga move per se, but I work with a yoga teacher who is exceptional, and she is the dance instructor first. So I get the pleasure of moving my body in new ways. So you do too then. I'm going to go ahead and take my legs out long. I'm going to place my hands behind me just for a little bit of support. I'm going to flex those feet and then point the toes. And then of course, while all of these things are like draining us, right? That's when we kind of put ourselves on the back burner. And then you're forgetting to drink your water, have a meal, maybe rest, close your eyes, maybe breathe. You can't forget that. That's important. You can't pour from that empty cup, right? So here we're just going to kind of swish those feet from left to right. Continuing to breathe, big inhales, big exhales. Sometimes this is all it takes, right? This little bit of swishing. Little bit of movement, just real gentle. Good. And then from here I like to kind of go free form, rolling those ankles, kind of snapping my toes. Get a lot of sounds out of that. You can move in any way that feels right for you here. Beautiful. From here I'm going to take it all the way onto my knees. You can find your knees however it feels comfortable. I'm going to take that blanket underneath my knees. I want this to be so loving and kind. I've been having a rough time, so let's go ahead and make it as comfy and as loving as we can. I like to keep my blocks handy, just in case I decide I need them. And again, this is just me dropping into my body, so there is no wrong way to move here. Whatever feels really good. And I'm just going to come to my tabletop. And right away, I can feel that I just want to swish the hips. So I'm taking my legs a little bit wider and then just swishing the hips from left to right. And that might be what does it for you, or maybe you want to start taking a C shape with the spine, inhaling as you come forward and then exhaling to look over one shoulder or the other. Beautiful. And then, of course, one of my favorites is our cat-cow. I'm going to start with my cow. And take a big exhale. Press that spine up towards the ceiling. Maybe pause and breathe for a little bit here. And then just moving through my cat and cow. Fantastic. From here, I'm going to go ahead and find my tabletop and bring that left leg out into like a half split here. And I'm just going to like rock. I like to tuck the back toe, and it just adds a little bit of a plantar stretch in the foot as well. What else can feel really nice here is a cat and cow. So staying in that static with the hip and then just moving through that cat and cow. So whenever you approach these kinds of classes with me on my channel or up in the studio, come as you are, right? I just switched to my other leg. So that right leg is out now. And that left toe is tucked. Come as you are, putting on any kind of clothing, comfy clothing. Maybe you make yourself a special drink of tea or hot cocoa, whatever feels really good for you. And then just join me. You don't have to be alone in those icky sensation, that icky feeling of just, oh, I need to move my body. I have a lot of free resources, and I hope you take advantage of them. Beautiful. And I'm just going to bring it on back. I'm going to find myself coming all the way into a puppy dog pose here, bringing the chest forward. My chin comes down to touch, yours does not have to. Good, and then a big inhale, bring it all the way down to the belly. Oh, and then here you can stack the hands and maybe just swish through the hips here. Notice your breath. Notice your body. Just be here in this moment with me. I feel like it's so easy to get caught up in what's the next thing? What do I have to do? But just be here with me. Be present. Beautiful. So I still have this blanket underneath me. If this doesn't feel good, you can move it. I'm just going to move it to where my hip crease is, and that kind of helps to balance the blanket and a little bit of lift. Here, I'm just going to press the tops of my feet down into the mat. I'm going to find my baby cobra. This one didn't feel too good. I'm not going to lie. I kind of burped at the same time. So go ahead and take a big breath in and then exhale. Come on down. I know that it's totally normal, right? Your body is moving, things are releasing and relaxing, but I think that everybody feels that weird sensation where you're like, oh, that was interesting. Good, we'll come back to it. Big inhale. There we go. Something needed to move. And I'm just pressing the tops of my feet into the mat, activating through the leg. I like this posture when I can sit here just for a couple of breaths, feel the inhale and the exhale in my belly as it presses on the floor, which probably is the reason that something was moving. Good, big inhale and exhale, bring it on down, swish out those hips. Now that we're getting a little bit of movement, maybe we just bring the knees nice and wide as the mat or wider. You don't even need a mat for this practice. And then go ahead and just swish the feet. loosening some stuff up. Beautiful. So I think here it's really important to not ask the same question. I feel like I ask this question of myself a lot. What more can I be doing? What if you asked yourself, what am I feeling? Or what's this sensation? Or how does this feel in my body? We'll try to just kind of move into that sort of energy. Not the other one. I'm not even going to talk about it. Good. You can start to slow that down. We're going to come all the way back up into our tabletop. Unless you want to stay there, then please stay there. I'm going to find my blocks and bring them up onto level 3. If you don't have blocks, you can use a chair in front of you too, just to stabilize a bit. I'm going to bring that right foot right in between the blocks. And then here, I always like to move just a little bit, wiggling those hips, swishing them front and back. I had a yoga instructor. She would teach that kind of posture and then say, that's not really a yoga posture. I'm like, it's all yoga. Good. And then if it feels good, you can start to sink that hip forward. Maybe the chest is nice and light and open. Maybe the gaze is soft. Nowhere to go, nowhere to be. Just notice sensation here. Good. And I'll switch it out. Any way that you can get that left foot in between those blocks and take it. I like to curl the back toe. And I'm just rocking it out. Good. And then just kind of let that hip move forward. My blocks are on level 3, which helps me not collapse as much. If I was down lower, I might feel a little weak and not be able to sit up nice and tall, which just helps with breathing. Because right now I need all the breath I can get. Beautiful. Go ahead and bring that on back. Whew, fantastic. All right, from here we're going to start to find both feet underneath the hips at the top of the mat. I'm going to move my blankie off to the side. And we're just coming into, I'm going to move into the middle here. A nice ragdoll. Bend the knees nice and deep. Keep this about the spine and less about the hamstrings. I find that when I hold these legs really, really tight, right, and I don't let those knees fall, and then it's almost like the panic button gets hit as this entire back of my leg just shoots up. And it's like, okay, that's a lot of sensation. So you can be gentle here. Bend those knees nice and deep. Maybe you bring the chin in towards the chest. Really, really nice. Beautiful. I'm just going to move to the front of my mat. Beautiful. From here, I'll go ahead and step whichever toe back, right? So we're coming into this wide-legged forward fold, and I'm staying nice and low here, and I'm just going to swish my hips. You can bring the blocks in. If you're watching me, that's why I didn't cue any sort of leg, because you're going to move however you can get in that wide stance here. And we're just kind of swishing those hips. Same thing we were doing on the floor. Beautiful. And from here, we might take a nice flat back with your inhale. And then exhale, start to come on forward. Let's move through this together, though. Big inhale here. Back to a flat back. And then exhale. Beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and drop a block off so my head can hang a little bit wider. A little lower down to the floor now that I'm starting to loosen up a bit. Big inhale. And when you're ready, maybe you start to sink all the way down to the floor. I like to take my fingertips and walk them to the outer edge of that mat behind me. You can let the head hang. Maybe you bring in a block or two underneath the head if you want some contact here. I feel like this is one of those postures where I can just let all the thoughts just spill onto the floor. No need to even catch them, no need to organize them, just let them spill out of the top of the head. Let them become nutrients for the earth, the plants. I kind of picture it like, like the chia seeds when they have the water and they get like kind of like dewy almost. And then it's like whoosh, and it just spills out on the floor, and then all these beautiful little chias pop up. That's what I picture. Not thinking about what comes next, just in the present moment. And of course, I've taken my forearms to my blocks. I feel like this is a little nicer for me right now, a little bit more gentle. There's some magic that happens in that stillness. And maybe there's another posture that when we drop into it, you're like, oh, I'm going to stay here for a while. I'm going to start to find my way back into that nice flat back here. And just swish out my hips again. No need to hold on to nothing. Beautiful. From here, I'm going to just scooch these feet in just a smidge. I'm going to take the feet a little bit at an angle. So they're at a like 45-degree angle out, and then bend my knees. And then maybe I'm going to start to shimmy over onto that right knee here. This can look anything. It could look way up here. It could look like anything. Big inhale. Maybe I'll come on over to the other leg. And the other side. Woo! And you might topple over, and that's okay. That might just be what it is today. No judgment. Just explore what feels good. If it feels better to be way up high, just kind of bouncing. That can feel kind of nice too. It's like you're skiing. Keep it loose, keep it loving, keep it kind. I can hear each knee. It's talking to me. Knee mice. Little squeaky knee mice in there. Good. And I'm going to come back into this wide-legged forward fold and just shimmy out those hips again. Beautiful. Start to spin those toes forward all the way to the top of the mat. Take your step in. Still in this forward fold here. Bend the knees nice and deep. Maybe rock it out any way that feels good. Might just feel really nice to keep the legs nice and long and maybe, just kind of bend one knee at a time. Beautiful. Whenever you're ready, we'll take a nice inhale to a halfway lift, nice flat back. Exhale, forward fold, and then inhale. Let's ragdoll all the way up. We're a mess, but we're feeling much better. Take a nice big inhale. Hands all the way up. Exhale, bring them on down. Big inhale. And exhale. Maybe we'll bring the toes into it. Can you lift the heels? Inhale. And exhaling. Big inhale. Reach. And exhale. And last one, coming up all the way up onto the balls of our feet. Whoa, can we reach? And exhale, coming on down. One of my other favorite postures to kind of get things moving is to take my feet a little wider than my hips and then just kind of swing my arms. Bending opposite knee will help you get that little bit of a twist. And then I like to give my kidneys a little loving tap, moving out anything that's no longer serving me. You can try that. Sometimes it just feels good to move. No judgment. Nowhere to go, nowhere to be, nothing to get to. No destination. Beautiful. Start to slow that down. Ooh. Then you can do whatever you like. I'm just going to shake out my hands and shake out my feet. It's like, get off of me, icky things. You need to be attached. Beautiful. Really, really nice. From here, we'll come back to the front of the mat if you've wandered. I definitely did. And maybe we'll bring a couple blocks behind us. We're going to find that Malasana squat. If this is not high enough, you can find another block or a cushion. If this is too high, come on down. I love Malasana squat. One of my favorites. Bringing the hands into Anjali Mudra. Palms together, fingers wide. Pressing the elbows into the inner thigh. Bringing the thumbs to the heart center. Gentle and releasing with the pelvic floor. Can you soften the jaw? Doesn't matter what you look like. Doesn't matter how many blocks you need. Truly doesn't matter. Just be here with me in this moment. Beautiful. If you're up on your block, we're going to go ahead, lift the hips, remove the block. If you are all the way down, you can just boop your butt all the way to the floor. And I'm feeling like with all that work I did, I like to come into this cobbler's posture. It's like a butterfly pose. And bring the knees nice and wide, and then maybe we just start to move the feet like we're opening a book, right? And then here, of course, you could do your butterfly if you wanted to. Just wiggle those knees, which can feel fun and free. Don't forget to breathe. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter. Let it go. So start to slow it down. Beautiful. If you want to sit up nice and tall here, holding this posture, you can. If you want to, you could bring the heart down into the feet. That's my choice today. Big inhale. And then my heart will start to spill into this little open book. Of course, then I end up smelling my feet. Can't take yourself so seriously, right? That's my whole thing. I can have fun all by myself in my studio with you right now. No pressure. And then I'm rocking because I'm like, okay, this is kind of a big stretch. I'm going to rock myself out of it. My nervous system's going to thank me here. It's going to go, ooh, okay, curious, curious, interesting, interesting. Beautiful. When you're ready, if you're all the way down, maybe we come up together. Beautiful. We'll start to bring those palms of the feet to the floor now. About as wide as the mat. My knees are bent. My hands are behind me supporting me. And then I'll just swish. Like windshield wiper legs. So I think what's happened, you probably can't hear the barking on this, but right now Theo is desperately trying to get into the studio. And it is because it's not nice weather out, but he ran outside with his brother through the doggy door, and for some reason he doesn't want to go back through the doggy door to get back inside. So he's living with his consequences right now. Good. Beautiful. Then you start to slow that down. We'll come all the way down to our back. I'm going to take a blanket underneath my head. Just be a little kind here. I like to roll it just a little bit. Make sure my mat's not involved. It's so graceful. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'll just take a nap here. Oh, where's my thing? Okay. So then maybe we'll take that strap. I'm just going to bring both feet up towards the sky here in a waterfall pose. So the strap is over the balls of my feet. And I'm just being really gentle and light here. So I used to teach. I had 700 kids on my roster. I know that's a week. So each week I had 700 kids, 30-minute. They're like 25, 28-minute classes. And I was on linoleum all day, linoleum and concrete. And I'll tell you, this posture, after a long day on your feet, heavenly. So go ahead and release that. Let's keep the right foot up here. Bring that left foot down. And I'm just going to swing the right foot around. So I'm just really, really gentle. I've seen a lot of students, they come into this and they wrap that strap around their hands and they pull that leg into place. I'm going to invite you to be kind. I'm going to invite you to pretend that this is a little baby bird and it is just so gentle and just so light, and it's just there to help. I'm not holding on for dear life here. Nothing to prove. Nowhere to be. It doesn't matter what you look like. It truly doesn't. You are safe. You're enough just as you are, no matter how you look. Beautiful. All right, bring this back up. I'm going to go ahead and release that foot all the way down. I'm not even going to get into stretching on either side right now. If you want to, you can. I'm going to take that left foot out, and then I'm just going to rock it. That left leg is up now. Ooh, this one wants to move a little differently than the other one. And that's always really unique, right? You don't really know what's going on with one side of the body until you kind of take a moment to look at it. This foot wants to go all the way over. I'm gonna embrace that. I'm just gonna take that all the way over. And if you were feeling something on that other side and you're like, but we didn't do that on the other side, that's all right. Just take a couple breaths here if you were enjoying it. You can always do it on the other side. Now I work from home, so I sit quite a bit at my desk. And like I said at the beginning of class, or this, whatever this is, session together with you, is it's been a rough few weeks. And I feel like I've been sitting at that desk for a long time. I actually had to switch out my chair and buy a special like pad for my bottom because it was getting rough. So you do what feels right for you. I don't know what work environment you're in. I don't know what you're doing all day, but you move in a way that feels good in your body. Ooh, that helps. I'll tell you that right now. Good. And now it's like, oh, I kind of want to open up to the opposite side. Like I said, you don't know what you don't know until you get there. There's nowhere to be. There's no goal for this. It's just notice. Where do you want to move? And maybe this doesn't feel good. Maybe you're opening up that leg and you're like, oh, I'd rather move to the other side. Go for it. Know your body. Believe it or not, you probably know exactly what you need. 100%. It's just all those little thoughts, the woulda, shoulda, couldas, they block all that stuff. We call them veils in yoga. Like a wedding veil. And then there's so many of them that you can't see through it. Like a dense fog. And then as we peel one veil off at a time, the vision becomes clearer for life and everything in general. Well, that felt amazing. If you're still there enjoying that, please do. I'm going to take my feet to the floor, take them nice and wide, and just windshield wiper those knees again. Beautiful. And I'm feeling like I want to come up into a little bit of a supported bridge. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my block. And then I'm just going to lift my hips up and put that block underneath, closer to my tailbone than my middle back. You know, you see these folks online, right? The influencers and workout people, and they really arch that back, and we don't want to be playing there today. So I'm just going to move that way down, closer to my tail. And this is really nice for anything going on in that low back sciatica. If it's pinchy or something that doesn't feel right, you can grab a softer pillow, or you can just stay doing any posture that feels really good right now. Beautiful. For me, I'm just going to lay one leg out long. And there's sensation there. There's sensation in the hip and the other leg. So even though I teach yoga and I ride horses and I go to yoga classes and I'm pretty active, you know, I still have a lot of sensation. Like a lot of times my students up here, my clients up in the studio will be like, oh boy. And I'm like, no, don't look at me. I'm off on my own little trip, my own little journey. And we all are, you know, so it doesn't matter what you look like. If something's not feeling right or you're just playing around, that's okay. I cannot stress it enough. Wherever you are, let it release. If it might feel better here to bring the palms of the feet together, knees wide. Or another one is to bring the knees together and the feet go wide. I'm still here, just noticing sensation. Moving in any way that feels interesting. Gosh, my feet are cracking today. I'm gonna bring my palms of my feet to the floor. My supported bridge, and when I'm ready, I'll just take a nice little inhale, move, lift those hips up, move that block out. Then anytime we do any kind of like back bend or something, we like to come into a little bit of a twist here. You could bring the block in between your knees if that feels more secure. I start with the knees on the left side, top of the digestive tract. And we'll bring it all the way over. Woo! Roll all the way over and do my right side. My shoulders are on the floor here. The gaze could look over that opposite shoulder if that feels good. It doesn't really for me. Bring it all the way back to center, and I invite you to find any kind of final resting posture that feels good to you. If you are maybe in a transition-y part of your day and coming all the way into Shavasana doesn't feel quite right because you feel like, oh, that's a lot of heaviness and a lot of like shutting it off, You don't have to do that. You could come up and just sit in a meditative state for a minute or two. I'm going to find my blocks underneath my thighs. And I'm just noticing my spine long on the ground, taking up a lot of space here. The eyes are soft or closed. I'm just going to experience this as it is, not needing to be anything other than it is. Not holding on, not constructing any ideas, letting go of whatever's next. Just noticing the breath. You can stay there as long as you like. Your practice. I'm just going to slowly turn myself to my breath and move my body in a way that feels good. My floor is kind of cold and I don't feel like staying here on the ground any longer. And that's okay. I don't have to. You don't have to stay in any posture that doesn't feel right for you. Just if you are transitioning out of your Shavasana, or maybe you're staying there, maybe you got your comfy, cozy covers on you, and you're taking a little break from the world, that's okay. You can stay there. Don't worry about it. You just come out gentle, come out lovingly, come out slowly when that time comes. I like to transition to a fetal posture. And then I let the legs come out nice and long, and I use my other hand to help me up. I've been coming out of Shavasana for a while, so it looks more smooth than it really is, I guess. So let's just sit together for just a moment. I'm going to close my eyes because that feels really good and grounding in my body. It might feel nice to do the same in yours, or maybe you just let your eyes go soft. And I'm going to stack my palms one on top of each other on my heart, right in the center of my chest, just warming that space. And right here, just letting gratitude fill this space. Made a little space for me today. You made a little space for you. And that feels really good. Let's hold on to that for a moment. Let's just be present together. And I want to say thank you so much for joining me. Know that you're not alone in this, and that I'm here, and we're all going through it. I like the saying that we're all in the same storm. We're all on different boats in that storm, and I'm here just throwing that light out, joining me, then we're just together, our own boats in the storm, we're together. And sometimes that can make all the difference. So Om Shanti, Om Peace. And I like to bow to end my practice. Humility and gratitude. And thank you for sharing it with me today. I hope you feel better in your body, a little bit lighter. I know I certainly do. I'm ready for whatever's next. Thank you for joining me.